righty, here we go. Hey guys, my name is Donnell Tiggs, and I'm actually interviewing Louise Gamble. She is a network marketer, direct sales professional, and I absolutely love working with this woman. I've worked with her before in the past, and I actually put her up to this task of an interview, and she didn't hesitate, and she told me, you know what? Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and do this. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this interview. I'm going to be asking Louise some questions about working from home or about the home-based business industry. And I think this is going to be a huge benefit to anyone that's going to be serious about, working from home. So with that being said, Louise, before we actually get started into the questions, why don't you tell everybody about yourself, your background?
Yeah. My name is Louise Gamble, and actually, my background pretty much started my first year in college.
Okay.
My first year in college, the professor, asked the entire audience, "Hey, why are you guys here?" And I was kind of, wondering what's wrong with this man. I mean, out of high school, going off to college your freshman year, I mean, we all have the same idea, the same mindset, and my thought were, "Hey, I'm here to change the world." And so when he asked that question, I don't really know how many other students were affected by that, or even if they even gave it any serious thought. But my thought was, I'm here to change the world. I mean, I look forward to doing big things, helping people, traveling, and living. I thought would be the best lifestyle that I had ever known.
Okay.
But one thing he did say that really caught my attention. He said, education is great. He said, but if you want to make some money, he said, network marketing is what you want to be exposed to.
Wow.
Now, in my household, my mom and dad didn't talk about network marketing. In fact, I'm just graduating high school, on my way to college, my freshman year, and I had never heard of that term, network marketing. But I can tell you this, because the professor made that comment, I never stopped looking. I kept looking for and asking everybody that I thought that knew, well, what is network marketing? What is network marketing? In fact, I even went to the library getting books and, different things trying to find out. And I can tell you, because of my consistent persistency and being focused, that is pretty much where I made the vast majority of my money with all the experience and licenses and, career adventures. I've made more money working in the arena, network
Wow.
marketing. And that is what brings me here today.
Awesome. So pretty much, I guess you pretty much answered it, but I'll go ahead and ask it again. So, what made you decide to be an entrepreneur? I mean, so it's basically your college professor when when you were in class and, he kind of mentioned network marketing. That's correct, right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So, with that being said, why did you get involved in the home-based business industry in the first place? I mean, what was it that you saw that intrigued you to get involved in it?
Well, you know what? Now, what I saw as I started my career journey, I started in the dental profession.
Okay.
So I worked as a dental assistant, and I worked in that capacity for about 6, 7 years. And, it allowed me to dream again, because working around those, doctors, the, dentists and specialists, periodontists, endodontists, pedodontists, all those specialty arenas. I mean, I heard conversations like, yeah, we're going to Switzerland. I'm thinking Switzerland. I heard people say things like, yeah, we're building a $500,000 home. And, you're talking back in the 80s.
Wow.
So who talks about that? I mean, it certainly wasn't anybody around me talking about, building a $500,000 home or, family going to Switzerland. I mean,
Right.
So, but my conclusion of that was, hey, and I was, of course, the only African-American person in that entire setting. I mean, even a lot of the patients that came in, they were not, of my descendant, and the doctors, they certainly were not. So, but it allowed me to dream again. And what I realized was, hey, if they can live like that, then so can I.
Okay.
So, it got to a point with me being in that arena, for the amount of years that I worked, oftentimes, they chose me. I pretty much ran the office. I was the one that opened the office. I was the one that set up the operatories. I was the one that, work closely with the doctor, and all of that. And I thought that was great. That was certainly a great exposure experience for me. But what I didn't like was I was limited as to what they would pay me. I mean,
Okay.
I brought everything that they, needed me to bring to help increase and bring value to their life. In fact, I feel like I had a great part in them going to Switzerland, great part in them building that $500,000 home. But the sad thing, ladies and gentlemen, was I was limited. In fact, I was struggling, coming home to my family, two young daughters and a husband, and we were literally struggling just trying to stay afloat.
Right.
So, just running household expenses, and that was not good enough. So
Wow.
for that reason, I began to, think that there's got to be something greater. There's got to be something greater than me choosing a career where there was a lot of money being made, but I was very limited as to how much I can earn in that arena. So I figured, the best way for me to pay myself what I figured I was worth is I needed to find a vehicle that will provide me the freedom, the flexibility, the unlimited income potential, so I can plan on going to Switzerland. So I can plan on, at some point, building me a $500,000 home.
Right.
So, I got excited about that. But I can tell you, because of me being a big dreamer, a big thinker, it led me to, network marketing. And again, I would say to you, that is how I've made the vast majority of my money.
That's awesome. That's what a wonderful experience. So, what types of products and services do you like to sell, and why?
Well, you know what? Now, one thing I do realize as being a marketer is I like to bring a product, to the world that they actually have a demand for.
Okay.
So when you talk about a product that the world demand, I mean, that can be very broad. But, just to name a few, I mean, when you talk about educational materials, self-help materials, those materials are great. When you talk about, being the very best person you can be, when you're talking about hair products, or you're talking about skincare products, or you're talking about what the world loves, they love coffee. So,
Okay.
those are some of the, to name a few, those are some of the products that, I like. And those are some of the products that I feel that, the world likes and see a need, for. And these are products that they use on a day-to-day basis.
Awesome.
So, to conclude that, it would mainly be, products that that I like, feel really good about, products that I use, and products that, bring value, help me to keep, my image, sharp at all times. And those are definitely some of the products that I market and,
Awesome.
love marketing.
Awesome. So, when you first became an entrepreneur, what kind of challenges or experiences did you go through? I mean, good or bad?
Well, you know what? Now, some of the challenges that I, faced head on in my new endeavor of becoming an entrepreneur was mainly, making that transition. I wasn't quite sure, what is that going to really look like? I wasn't sure, as to what to expect. I wasn't sure as to how much money I would make. So, because I was so accustomed to someone else making those decisions for me. So I knew if I went to work from 9 to 5, 8 to 4:30, and, I was in a mutual agreement contract with the employer, with me being the employee, I know they would pay me based on what we agreed upon. So I knew what that looked like. But what I also knew was that was not enough because, we were still struggling. Now to be confronted with those upfront choices, I didn't know what to expect as far as to me stepping out of that arena and, creating and developing my own income. I mean, because we all get accustomed, if you would agree with me, we all get accustomed
Yep.
to, I know every 2 weeks, I'm going to get, a certain amount of dollars.
Right.
And, you kind of know what already needs to be paid, before the check get arrived. So, that's the sad thing because you end up having more than money.
Right.
So, what I'm saying is that because I had already experienced that and I knew what that looked like, I knew that I could help, support in my household along with what my husband contributed, to, being able to just stay afloat. Well, staying afloat was not good enough.
Right.
What I wanted was more than enough. And with me actually stepping out, I wasn't sure what that was going to look like. So what I did one day, I sat down, with my husband, and I just said, shared with him what was on my mind, told him what I wanted to be able to achieve, and that was to, start my own adventure of doing something that I enjoyed. Now, did I really know what that was at the time? I didn't. But what I started to do, I started to do some research and, ask a couple questions and look around. And I went to the library and, got a couple books and, things of that sort. And so my first endeavor was I started out, I was already a licensed cosmetology esthetician, fully licensed by the state of Florida. So what I started out with was skincare. And I felt very comfortable with skincare. Why? Is because as a young girl growing up, I read a lot of magazines about beauty. So, and I applied a lot of those principles just by reading from the magazines.
Okay.
So I felt very comfortable, with that arena. And because it was something that I enjoyed, it was something that I used on a regular basis. I mean, I didn't know a particular brand of a product. But what I started with was Mary Kay.
Okay.
And boy, I tell you, I started, with Mary Kay, and oh my goodness, did I grow tremendously.
Wow.
I had the time of my life. I started out, doing my skincare classes and just talking the language. And, I stayed connected, with my training. Got the tape of the month, and I would listen to that tape from one month to the next. And, to the point where those words became my own. So I became a red jacket, became a team leader, became a director in the company, earned 2 career cars, back to back within 2 years, made more than $50,000 per month from the comfort of my home. So I knew at that point, hey, if I could do this, then it was unlimited as to what I could achieve beyond that.
Wow. So I know that you're currently working on a new blog, and I noticed you came up with the name Focus Woman. What inspired you to name your blog Focus Woman?
Well, you know what? Now, Focus Woman, when you think about focus, and the reason most people don't accomplish their dreams, their goals, they don't live the lifestyle that they, most people think about or even talk about. In order to be able to transition from, what everybody else is doing to what it is that you really want to do. Because that's the question you have to ask yourself, every day. Am I living the life that I want to live? Am I doing the things today that I want to do? What is driving you? So when you think about the focused woman, what I have to do first, myself, is I have to check, myself to make sure I'm disciplined enough to do what I need to do, because we all have the tools to do what's necessary, but we have to ask ourselves, are we willing to commit to them? Because in order to be focused, you have got to make sacrifices. You've got to make, you got to discipline yourself. You've got to perhaps sometimes change a few things in your household or in your schedule, or the way your day is ran. So as a focused woman, when you look at all of what is required, you just have to ask yourself, are you willing to do what's necessary, to get to from where you are to where you want to be.
Okay. So what advice do you have for anyone who wants to get involved in the home-based business industry and start working from home?
Well, the advice that I leave with you guys today would be, number one is ask yourself a couple questions. Where am I today? Do I really like what it is that I'm doing today? Am I living the life that I would prefer to live today? And if I would change my today, what would I change it to? What would be the first thing that I would want to do first? It's probably going to take some research, to kind of know what's out there, what brings value to you, what is most important to you, what is it that make you feel good. So, as you start your journey, like I did, a decade or so ago, I just started doing a lot of research. I just started reading a lot of materials. I went to the library and, I asked a couple questions. I visit some professional businesses, and I asked those the CEOs of those companies, what was it like? What is it like, being a realtor? What would be the recommendation and advice you would give me? So I started all that, and so what I would say to you is it's going to take, asking yourself a couple questions, even writing down, where are you today? Where would you want to be 12 months from now? Where you want to be, 2 years from now? Ultimately, where would you want to be in 5 years from now? And what is it going to take in order for you to start your transition today?
Wow. Powerful. Powerful. I got some more questions to ask you, and I just want to add to what you were just saying. I tell you, I'm really good friends with a lady named Lynette Arden, And when it comes down to being focused, man, I'm telling you, she's a very, very powerful woman, and she's very, very focused woman. I mean, every time I speak to her or get a chance or opportunity to speak to her, she's always talking about her next move, her next game plan. She's always working. She's always doing something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's either doing a conference call, she's either doing a webinar, she's either on the phone with programmers, she's on the phone with her core team. I'm one of her core team members. So when it comes down to being focused, man, I mean, if I was to look up the word "focused woman" in a dictionary, I'd see you and I'd see Lynette Artin next to the word "focused woman" in the book. That's just my little thing I wanted to say. Mm-hmm. But if a person asks you, what kind of money can I make working part-time or full-time from home, what would your answer be to that person?
Well, now the way I would actually answer that is, first of all, you want to always kind of set beginner's goals, intermediate goals, and ultimately where is it that you would want to end up. Okay. So to start out, I would say probably within the first 30, 60, 90 days. I think 90 days would be a good place for you to say, in 90 days, I would like to be earning, it may be $2,500 a month. Okay. So now if you say that you would want to earn the $2,500 a month, then now it's going to take, again, you being focused. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take making sacrifices. It's going to take, again, asking some questions, doing some additional research. What is it that, and putting yourself on a day-to-day schedule, Monday through Friday, if you will. And you say, well, I'm going to work my business Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to kind of kick back and, maybe go get pampered or, maybe pick up a few personal items or whatever it may be. Hang out with your girlfriends, whatever it may be. But you may want to put yourself on a schedule that you know that you're willing to commit to. So, for instance, for me, I make myself available right now Monday through Saturday. Okay. Yeah. So, and the reason so is because I have a big goal. So based on your goal, you want to first of all put yourself on a schedule because you want to be able to match the hours that you're working with the amount of money you're saying you want to make. Okay. So in other words, if you are going to work Monday through Friday, then of course, what does Monday's schedule look like for you? What are you doing with that time? Whether it is 3-4 hours on Monday or 5 hours on Monday, what does those hours really look like as far as the activity? Because what's going to yield you the amount of money you want to make is you got to match the activity with the amount of money. Okay. And then, of course, it goes on there after that. Tuesday, what would your day Tuesday look like? What would you do on Wednesday? So you got to put a plan of action in place in order to be able to, reach that goal. And then beyond that, it's Katie by the door. It's amazing as to what could take place after that. But you got to get started and you got to stay focused and you got to discipline yourself every day, whether you feel like it or not. Because get this, there's going to be times you're not going to feel like it. But what I have found in my years of entrepreneurship is when I don't feel like it, that's when I work the hardest. Wow. Huh. That just really hit a home run for me in my mind. That was, wow, that was powerful. So let me ask you something. In terms of motivation, what books would you recommend to motivate a person to be focused? I mean, what would you tell a person? Hey, these are the books that I've read. These are the books that I think you should read. What would you recommend? Okay, well, you know what? There's a couple books. To name a few of books that I have truly relied on throughout my career and will continually, utilize, these tools because oftentimes it takes you from where you are to where you say you want to be. Okay. You don't really know where that is until you actually kind of start your journey and do your research and find out what's out there. Okay. Because there's always individuals who have gone beyond where you say you want to go, but at some point in their career, they also had to get started too. So now what I would say to you as far as to the books, one of the books in particular would be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Awesome that series, if you get it in, you can get it in the book form, or you can also get it in, videos or DVDs as well. So actually, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill would definitely be one of them. Okay. You can also get the resources from the library, in fact. Or you can also go on Amazon and, get a variety of those tools as well in different forms. So Think and Grow Rich would definitely be one. Dr. John C. Maxwell, He has several different articles out there. This man is absolutely amazing. He talks about, developing and building leaders around you. What does leadership look like, and, things of that sort. So that will certainly be one. Another one would be the magic of thinking big, because in order for you to go from where you are to where you say you want to go, sometimes we have to change our thinking. Because oftentimes we all have been exposed to a lot of the same sayings. I mean, as a little girl growing up, I was always told, hey, get a good education, go to college, get you a good college career, and you'll be okay. Well, that was about 30 years ago. Today, that don't really exist. I mean, it's nice to be well educated, but as far as to living well, we're all, well educated, but no jobs available. Or, as soon as you start a job, 2-3 years later, you out looking for another brand new job. Well, my question to you is, how many times can you do that? Okay, but just think about it. You got to answer that, but just think about it.
Right.
So finally, the ultimate book, which you can find any answer in, would be the Bible.
Wow. Awesome. I love it. What business opportunity, if I may ask, are you currently involved in right now, and why?
Well, you know what? One of the careers that I've endeavored, which I really, really, really feel very comfortable about, because I can tell you in a few words as to this type of success, I've had early on, is Organic Gold. A product that I absolutely love. You may have heard of Organic Gold. Organic Gold is a company that started September of 2008. And they have actually topped the charts like no other company in the world. They're in the United States as well as international. It started with the founder is Bernie Shua, and this gentleman is out of Malaysia. And this gentleman has done some incredible things. He did the most amazing thing. He took the number one herb, which is Ganoderma, and he infused it into the number one beverage, which is coffee. Now, and if you would agree with me, you can fly from, Florida today and fly over to Paris, or Switzerland, or go to England or whatever, and you can visit any restaurant over there, and the first thing that the waitress is going to ask is, would you like to have a cup of coffee? So that is so, passionate to me and means so much, because, whether I drink coffee or don't drink coffee, it's not about me when it's about marketing. It's about serving and bringing value to the world. And because, 8 out of 10 people is going to drink a cup of coffee, 3 to 4 cups a day. And, we're very grateful to Starbucks. Starbucks was the ones who set the platform for us. You can go to Starbucks and it is, very customary that you can get a cup of coffee for $5.
Mm-hmm.
Recent document also include you can go to Starbucks, you can spend $10 for a cup of coffee, and the world is okay with that.
Right.
So because coffee is the number one beverage in the world, and it's something the world love, and you can travel anywhere around the world, and people can relate when you say coffee. So I'm very passionate about that, and I think that's a good platform, a good place, to start, is because, the world love it. And in addition to just loving coffee, we're not just coffee. We have infused the number one herb in coffee, which is Ganoderma. Ganoderma, we don't publish any articles about our product, because we have universities, we have foundations, we have, other organizations that's talking about Ganoderma. Even your medical doctors, some of them are saying, hey, get you some Ganoderma, because of the healing benefits that it has in it. So if you really want to know, more about the benefits and the value of that, I would encourage that you do your own research and look up the word Ganoderma.
Okay.
And, now, in addition to that, I was recently introduced to another platform, which I absolutely love, very passionate about, with me making this transition from offline marketing to social media, as well as in the state and around the world. There's a product or a platform which is named Kookadoo. Now, Kookadoo is a platform that I was recently, as I said, recently introduced to, and I like, what they bring, to an individual like myself. So I'm actually, in the embryo stages of, taking some training, going through some training, learning about the different tools that they bring, and, being able to use a lot of those tools myself in order to brand myself in the social media.
Okay. Okay. Well, I I appreciate you telling me that. I was gonna ask you. That was gonna be my next question. You know, have you recently found any types of platforms socially to basically brand yourself? I mean, we all know about Facebook. We all know about LinkedIn. We all know about Twitter. We all know about different types of platform. But with Q Can coming into the limelight here. I wanted to ask you on that, and you answered it. So, with that being said, guys, Louise, I really appreciate you giving me the time to do this interview, and I hope you guys out there in internet land enjoyed Mrs. Louise Gamble. And again, Louise, I really appreciate this. Let me ask you another question before we go and before we end the video.
Okay.
Can we expect to see more videos in the future with you? I mean, I'd like to do a part 2 with you, or maybe even a part 3 with some other questions, because I know you're a busy woman, and I know you got to go and all that kind of stuff like that. But do you think we'll be able to see some more videos of you?
Well, but and I'm glad you asked. But absolutely, I mean, I look forward to this. Is mainly, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is my embryo stages of my new journey. Of branding myself, getting to know the social media arena, connecting with a lot of the other professionals who is in that arena. Learning from the best of them, that are out there doing an incredible job, bringing value to the social media, making a difference, around the world. So I certainly look forward to, you hearing more of me, more from me, and also again bringing value, to you as well.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, with that being said, my name is Donnell Maurice Tiggs, and this is Miss Louise Gamble, and thank you guys for listening. And please tune into Mrs. Louise Gamble's YouTube channel and watch more videos of her, because I'm pretty sure she's going to be putting out some awesome content, some awesome information to help new people get started, as well as the individuals like myself who've got many years of experience in the network marketing industry. So with that being said, thank you guys for listening, and I look forward to speaking with you all again. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Tiggs. Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.